Hello everyone, welcome to watch our video. Our lesson today is talking about the derivative of sine and cosine functions. Okay, please, I want from every one of you to watch all of the previous video about the basic rules of differentiation. Okay, it's very important. Now let's begin our lesson, which is the derivative of sine and the cosine function. That derivative, as you see, the derivative of a sine function, it will be cosine function. The derivative of cosine function, it will be negative sine x. Look here, I'd like to tell you something here. The derivative of any trigonometric function which has a part q, like this one, cosine, cotan, cosecant, its derivative has a negative sign since it has q, or start with the, like, or its pronunciation cotangent, cosecant, cosine, its derivative, it has a negative sign. So the derivative of sine, cosine, the derivative of cosine, it will be negative sign. Now let's begin to solve the following question. Just apply the rule. Just apply the rule. Here I have to remind you by some rule. What is the derivative of x to power n? In this case, as you know, we use the power rule, n x to power n minus 1. The derivative of any constant function with respect to x or any variable, it will be 0. The derivative, that is the first rule, second rule, third one. The derivative of any constant multiply x to power n with respect to x, I find the derivative of this term or this function. It will be, I multiply this constant by the derivative of x to power n, which is nx to power n minus 1. Okay, I'd like to remind you the derivative of any linear function like this one with respect to x, it will be the coefficient of this one. The derivative of 3x, it will be 3. The derivative of 5x, it will be 5, and so on. That is, these what are the basic rule of differentiation. Okay? Here, power rule, constant rule, or the derivative of any number multiplied by x to power n, it will be what? Okay, it's very important to remember these rules. Here, how to find the derivative of this one? Derivative. How to denote this one? The derivative of y, it will be y prime, or I can write dy by dx. Both of them refer to the derivative. Okay, I can write dy by dx, or I can write y prime. Both of them refer to what? The derivative of the function. Okay, here it will be number multiply function sign. So the derivative, it will be this number multiply, what is the derivative of sine? Cosine x. You have to remember the rule. Without the rule of the differentiation, you never know how to find the derivative. Look here. In this case, as you know, 1, it means half multiply sine x. Or by another way, if we divide any function by number, okay, its derivative, it will be the derivative divide this number. By another way, it will be implies to what? Implies to y, or y prime, it will be, what is the derivative of sine cosine x over 2. Over 2, it means multiply half, which means half cosine x. Divide any number, it means multiply its reciprocal. To find the derivative of this function, the derivative of y, it will be dy by dx or y prime. The derivative of this term, the derivative of this term. Since by looking at the function, I don't need to rewrite this function because every term in this function doesn't need to rewrite, okay? What is the derivative of x? It is a linear. What is the meaning of linear? The power of this term is 1, or x, y, t, by any way. The derivative of x, it will be 1 plus what? What is the derivative of cosine? It has co. It has a part co. So its derivative negative. You have to remember. How I know the derivative of this function, it has a negative sign or it doesn't for the trigonometric function, like sine, cosine, tan, like this one. If it has a part co, its derivative has a negative sign. So plus negative sine x. Negative positive means 1 minus sine x. I hope you understand. Just apply the rule that you study. Okay? Okay. Look here for the next theorem, derivative of the natural exponential function. The derivative, look here, the derivative of natural exponential function. Here, as you know, number 2, it means 2, 7, blah, 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 like this one, okay? The derivative of any exponential function like this one, e to power x, it will be e to power x. Natural exponential function, okay? It means e to power x. Its derivative, e to power, is the same, okay? Find the derivative of each function. Just apply the rule, okay? F, it will be f prime of x. Some of you can write it by using prime or df of x with respect to x. It's up to you to use this form or this form, okay? But I think easier for you to write f prime, okay? Here, number multiply any function, it means the number. The derivative of any number multiply function, it means this number multiplies the derivative of this function, which is e to power x. It's the same. Doesn't change. Okay? I hope you understand. That is part A. Part B, so easy. Here implies to what here? F prime of x, it will be. What is the derivative of this term? It doesn't need to rewrite. I have to ask this question to me before I begin to find the derivative. The derivative of this one, I will apply the power rule. Power x and decrease or reduce the exponent by 1. It will be 1 and the 1 can be submitted. It means 2 minus 1, it will be e to power 1. Plus, what is the derivative of this function? It is the same e to power x. From where we get it? From the rule. From the rule. Okay? For part C. Part C. What is the derivative of this function? F prime. Find the derivative of the left-hand side, the right-hand side. Before I find the derivative, I need to rewrite this function. No, it is ready to apply the rule of the derivative of sine or cosine. It is ready to find this one by applying theorem 3.7. So, what is the derivative of sine? It will be cosine x. Minus, what is the derivative e to power x? It will be e to power x. Don't forget, when we write negative, if the function has part co, if it doesn't have this part co for the sine or cosine, which one has a negative sign? Cosine, which had the part co. I hope you understand. Please revise all of the basic rule of differentiation, all of the theorems, then find the derivative by using the, in this case, please, I don't need to use the definition. Since I don't ask you to use the definition, it's up to you to use anyway. But it's better for you to use the basic rule of differentiation or the rules of differentiation. It's better. It's easier for you. Look here, implies find the derivative f prime of x. What is the derivative of this linear? Linear, it will be its coefficient. Please watch all of the video. What is the derivative? Minus the constant, which is 5, multiply the derivative e to power x, it will be e to power x. Implies, what is the derivative of h? It will be, okay, it will be, what is the derivative of this one? 3, the power, just apply the power rule. Without rule, you don't know how I find the answer. The number multiply the coefficient 1, it will be 3t to power 2. Decrease the exponent by 1. Here it will be plus the constant, okay, multiply the derivative of this function with respect to t, it will be e to power t. Be careful. In this case, I find the derivative with respect to the variable, okay, the function of it is the same with respect to the same variable as the function of it. Okay. For this one, I know pi is constant. So pi over 2, it means constant. As you know, pi, it means 3.14 or the number that you have in calculator. Okay. So, how to find this one? It will be this constant implies y prime. It will be the constant which is pi over 2. Multiply the derivative of this function sine, it will be cosine theta. In this case, I find the derivative with respect to theta as the function of the same, as the variable this function of it. Here, minus, but this one has it will have negative, so it will be plus. What is the derivative of cosine? Sine theta. Clear or not clear? I hope you understand. I hope you understand. Okay. Let's continue. Here, I find the derivative with respect to t. In this case, I ask about the derivative with respect to variable as this function, as the function of this variable, okay? Implies, what is the derivative of g? It will be g prime of t equal. Pi is constant, so it will be pi multiply between two brackets. What is the derivative of cosine? Negative sine t. Okay, here pi, it means multiply. Pi multiply negative sine, it will be negative pi sine t. So easy, just multiply the number by the derivative. Negative multiply positive, it will be negative pi. What is the derivative of this one? Y prime, it will be. What is the derivative of the first term? It will be 2x. Apply the power rule. 2x to power 1. Minus, don't forget, the derivative of this one, it has it will be negative. Negative multiply, negative will be positive. That is for the sine. Constant. What is the derivative of cosine? As I told you, negative sine, but okay, negative minus negative, it will be plus sine x. Okay? Again, the half multiply the derivative of this one, negative sine x. But already we have minus, so it will be plus. Here implies, what is the derivative of this function? You have to pause the video, solve the, or find the answer of all of the question, then check your answer. It's better for you. What is the derivative of any constant? It will be 0. I don't need to write. Plus, what is the derivative of sine? It will be the derivative of first 0 plus the derivative of sine, which is what? Cosine x. Sorry. The derivative of this one, it's so trivial. Constant, the derivative of a product of a scalar multiple by any function, it will be this constant, okay, by the derivative e to power x, it will be e to power x. From where? From the theorem. Here it has negative, no, so I will not change, it will be negative. 3, the constant multiplies the derivative of sine, which is what? Cosine x. It's so trivial. All of the questions are very trivial. So this one implies, what is the derivative of this one? The constant, 3 over 4 multiply the derivative of e to power x, which is e to power x. The constant plus 2 multiply the derivative of cosine, which is negative sine, to avoid any careless mistakes. But here, in this case, to simplify, e to power x minus 2 sine x. I think it's so trivial. Just apply the rule. Okay, for this one, how to find this case, I can't, if I have a variable under the root, or we have a variable in denominator, in this case, I need to rewrite the function to be ready to apply all of the rules which are, or the rules which I learned before. Here implies f of x equal, I rewrite the function, I can rewrite, here, which is 6x to power half. I don't need plus 5 because I have a rule to, implies f prime of x. It will be, what is the derivative of this one? Apply the power rule. 6 multiply half, which is, okay, 6 multiply half, to avoid any mistake, okay, it will be 6 multiply half, x to power half, decrease the exponent by 1. Don't forget to decrease the exponent by 1. Plus the constant multiply, what is the derivative of cosine? It will be negative sine x. Okay, it will be 3, this one x to power negative half, okay, negative multiply, it will be negative 5 sine x, okay. I can write it in the more simplest form. It will be 3, and this one, it will be in denominator, it will be x to power half, which means root x minus 5 sine x. You have to know how to write the function in the simplest form, because when I give you multiple choices, you have to write the answer in the simplest form, okay? Look here, how to find this one. The derivative of this one, do you need to rewrite? It's a power? Yes, I know all of the rules. It is ready to apply all of this rule. How to find this one? It will be negative 2, x, and decrease the exponent by 1, it will be negative 3 minus 2. E, the number, multiplies the derivative of this function, which will be what? Negative 2. Write it in denominator with a positive power, minus 2e to power x. This function in the simplest form. In the simplest form. Please, to understand the lesson, you have to revise all of the rules of differentiation that you learned, okay? Derivative of sine and cosine, derivative of natural exponential function, the basic rule of differentiation, power rule, constant rule, okay? If you study this one well and watched all of the video which I uploaded already on the LMS, you will find this lesson is so easy. Okay, have a nice day, and thank you for joining the session. Bye-bye.